So Need for Speed Unbound's trailer came out the other day, and I wasn't able to get my live reaction, so let me reenact that for you guys. Yeah! Right now, I may be bound by chains and whipped consensually, but on December 2nd, 2022, I'm gonna be unbound. Get it? Please clap. Cover your thumb in some Modal-branded engine oil-flavored lube, and sit on that for the next few minutes while I post about Need for Speed Unbound. So let's begin by saying, Need for Speed's Twitter confirmed that Need for Speed Unbound is going to be a love letter to car culture and street racing, which is, what we love to fucking hear. From the trailer, we can obviously tell Unbound is way more car culture oriented than Heat or Payback was, which means we're beautifully slapped back into the ballpark of Need for Speed 2015. A$AP Rocky seems to be a staple in Unbound, where you basically work your way up from rags to riches to beat him for his, beautiful 190E, which I just gotta say is probably the most badass cover car in a Need for Speed game since like 2005. God, I can't wait to play this game. Just so I can see Rule 34 of A$AP Rocky's bare anime cock baby up top. And that leads me to the art style, which solidifies a gritty street atmosphere, which arguably Heat, but definitely Payback severely lacked. But the main staple of Unbound is outsmarting cops and competing in weekly qualifiers to work your way to the Grand, which seems to be some sort of racing tournament of some kind. And the longer you stay out to race, the more your heat goes up, which means Need for Speed knows that Heat's pursuit system was pretty fucking solid, and they're building upon it in this next game. And on another note, the car list is fine. Just imagine a copy and paste from Heat, but Audi is gone, and Toyota still has a stick up their ass about promoting illegal street racing in a fake fucking video game world. Toyota, get a grip! And some notable cars they added into this upcoming game have been the C8 Corvette, Ford Crown Victoria, the new Lamborghini Countach, the Lotus Emira, which gets my little Lotus fanboy cock hard, the Mitsubishi Eclipse, S14 Silvia Ks, 400Z, and of course I'm saving the best edition for last. Are you fucking kidding me? After 12 years, the most unreliable rotary shitbox car has been added into this game after 12 years of it being absent. That's right, Mazda fanboys. The goddamn Mazda RX-8. That was fucking disgusting. I just scratched my balls a minute ago. And some notable cars that still aren't in the game for some reason are the DC2 Integra, Raptor I WRX, R33 Skyline, and I'm not saying this last one just because I own a trombone mobile myself. However, the most requested car, other than the S14 and Eclipse, has been the G35. And I don't understand why we still can't drive it when it's been a licensed traffic car in the game for the past 10 fucking years. Need for Speed licensing team? POV, you're getting strangled. I'm strangling you. You know what? Maybe this is why I've been denied from the EA Creator Network like fucking 5 times. We've already seen the map. The map designing in Need for Speed games are always good, so there's nothing really to complain about, except for the fact I still think the city area is a little too small after further inspection. However, I'm satisfied with the amount of variety within the map, from quarries, an industrial area, a storm drain, a test track, and even a fucking airport. And like I said, over the years of new Need for Speed games coming out, their open world maps have definitely made my ass ooze with excitement every single time. That was probably one of the grossest things I fucking said. And like I said, over the past couple of games, the city area has just been a little too small for my liking for a urban street racing game. The Need for Speed 2015 formula of the map was literally perfect. You had 50% tight city streets and 50% mountain roads. But instead, they've been copying the formula of Payback, with the city hella small in the corner of the map, and then the rest of the map being wide open with mountain roads on the outside, which I'm not complaining about. I just wish there was more city streets to have a higher quantity of urban street racing in a street racing game. And from what creative director Kieran Crimmins said in an interview with IGN, you'll have to buy into races where all of the money is placed into a pot and it's given to the winner at the end of the race, which is supposed to make the player feel like an illegal street racer. And this is something I literally asked for back in 2018, but of course they ignored my email and messages because I don't know, bro, I guess my balls are just too small or something. But yeah, I'd like to see wagers in the next game. For example, if I have my friend and I, and then put X amount of money into a pot, and then whoever wins the race gets all of the money that we put into the pot. But yeah, basically racing isn't for no broke boy pansy piss babies. And fingers crossed, no offense to the people who made the liveries on the cars, by the way, but fingers crossed that the other characters in the game don't have wraps on their cars as ugly as the ones featured in the Unbound trailer. Heat's trailer had some of the most beautiful wraps in any Need for Speed game, hands down. In this game, it looks like a fucking 5-year-old just placed a bunch of decals on a car. They do not look good, dude. As far as the multiplayer, we have online free roam again, which, oh, thank Jah. And then you have meetup spots where you can queue up for races, which is yet again another layer of immersion, and it's something that I think we kind of all wanted in a Need for Speed game, is meetup spots. And one of the coolest features we were told of in Unbound involving the multiplayer is the fact that it will have a separate campaign from single player. But let's just hope that the campaigns for both are fucking at least combined twice as long as it was in Heat, because Heat, you could finish that shit in like 3 hours. However, since it consistently seems like 1 step forward and 2 steps back with this franchise, ironically a game with a large focus on multiplayer only has 4 party slots in 2022, which is an unreasonable downgrade from the previous game's 8 slots, and if this isn't fixed, this will absolutely hinder not only your social experience, but the game as a whole. The handling looks pretty similar to Heat, and even though I may not be the biggest fan of tap to drift, as long as my car doesn't have a fucking seizure going over a minor bump in the road, I'm fine with it. And the car customization. The car customization looks like it's on a whole nother level, but let's just hope they updated some of the cars that haven't received any customization updates since 2015. Involving the customization is this beautiful, cummy, hill climb inspired S14 with an open top, roll cage, and a wing the size of Cam's big juicy fat ass. And it almost looks like the S14 version of the 1600 horsepower Scribante GTR. It looks fucking sick. And I like the idea of driving effects because it's unique, quirky, and it separates Need for Speed from everything else. And surprisingly, the animated art style really doesn't clash with the realistic world all too much. I really like it. At least we got removable bumpers, new wheels, US license plates, and fucking finally, bro, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. They finally added car classes, which is yet again something else I was bitching about 5 years ago. See that? That S14 is B class, which stands for bitch. Oh, you're so fucking unfunny. You're so fucking unfunny. You're so fucking unfunny. The main thing, though, that I'm worried about is still the game modes. And like I said in my last video, a plethora of different types of game modes is a must for a long-lasting game. And I swear, if they get rid of circuit sprints or drift trials, I'm gonna go to Criterion Studios myself, shit in a doggy bag, and light that shit on fire. No, I'm not gonna light a doggy bag full of my shit on fire, Richard. You're not doing that. And don't get me wrong, my boy pussy definitely gets really hard for point-to-point, first-person to the finish wins type game modes. But there's so many different types of racing that is possible outside of just that. Intense delivery missions, lap knockouts, speed traps, there's so many more. I mentioned it in that other video, but my point is there's so much more potential to racing in Need for Speed, but for some reason they just use the bare minimum. For now, the 4th game in a row, Need for Speed has crazy potential pre-release, but it's all down to the execution, and I guess we'll find that out in like what, 8 weeks or something like that. I don't fucking know. Do the math. A big map, pretty graphics, a fat car list, and spending fuck you money on ASAP Rocky is cool and all, but like I said, the vast majority of racing game enjoyment falls upon a wide selection of game modes and physics that not only make sense, but are also enjoyable as well. And you know, I'm not gonna pull down my pants all the way to my ankles like a kindergartner and start pissing on the physics, because that's not fair. We've only seen 20 seconds of it. But calling the new physics system a super sophisticated physical simulation just seems like PR speech for, yeah, we've kept the same physics since 2015, but we just reworked it for the 3rd game in a row. But I understand that deleting physics and making a new physics system from the ground up takes a lot of time, effort, and money. But by 2019, it just feels like we're polishing a turd at this point. And I just hope that Criterion figured it out and they made it playable for not only a casual audience, but the hardcore audience as well. I'm being serious when I say this. Grab a friend who doesn't really play racing games that often, or even at all, and toss them into an EAGL 3 game like Most Wanted, Carbon, or World, and I'm telling you, 99 times out of 100, they're gonna have a way easier time figuring out these physics than if you were to throw them into a Frostbite 3 game like Payback 2015 or Heat, whose physics are fundamentally flawed at its core. From the new racing system, pursuit mechanics, map, art style, characters, cars, customization, and separated single player and multiplayer campaigns, let me know below what you guys are excited about, or even what you're skeptical about. This is a new era for Need for Speed, and I'm excited for what Criterion accomplish in this game and in the future, but we'll have to see what Unbound has for us. I'm excited for this game, but respectfully, keep your expectations low, because if this game ends up being the best Need for Speed since sliced bread, it will be that much more enjoyable to you guys. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll leave you guys with some exclusive gameplay that Criterion has sent to me personally. Oh, I'm mentally ill. I hate you.